All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you. And, well, finally, we have a winner's trophy. Been a long time coming, but one day Pierre and I hope to fill this room, don't we, mate? Fill it with winner's trophies from all around the world. But for now, we'll just have to make do with this angry gorilla. Honestly, Pierre, what are you going for there? That we got for winning the France Grand Prix. I don't know. What is it supposed to be, Pierre? Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing. We now have a trophy in the trophy cabinet, hopefully first of many, and today it is the Austrian Grand Prix. It is round 7 of season 3 and hopefully we'll be able to go and get ourselves another win here. It's a track I think should suit our car. Let's start by having a look at the activities. We've only got a very quick turnaround between the French and the Austrian Grand Prix. Second driver external training. Now, focus has been a little bit of an issue for Gasly. I think it's probably his main issue. We obviously need to celebrate. I mean, it's more than a podium. It's a win, isn't it? So let's have a celebration of the podium. I'll have a day off to recover and Gasly can go into training. That sounds all fair to me. Now we have 15 million in the bank. We need 9 million to renew Gasly mid-season. So let's leave upgrades for now. We'll get them for next race, I think. We should have enough by then, shouldn't we? In terms of R&D, look at that. We do have the best car in Formula 1. As things stand right now, we are the best. And, of course, defending race winners as well. Now, there was one other upgrade that we could have. Now, that was the big rear wing upgrade that I think really did help us in France. Now, what I did want to do, knowing that after this race, we have Hungary and Zandvoort, I want to get the front end of the car done as well. Look at that. That's going to really give us another massive kick forward, and we will indeed have that in time for Hungary. So I think that's important to do. Hopefully it's not going to fail on us. We still have just under 3,000 points, so I think what we want to do now is we probably want to go to durability, because I don't think there was too much else that we could do just now. And Mercedes upgrade has arrived as well, which can only be a good thing. So let's go down here where we're going to have a chance of an upgrade. This one here, ICE, so that's the internal combustion. So that will be more resistant to wear. We'll have some of that. And suddenly, look at that, we're third in reliability. We were way behind on those things. MGUH failure, it's an ultimate upgrade. It's 1,800, we can afford that. So that's going to bump us up above Mercedes, it looks like, and then that's just about us done then, isn't it? 250 points, just under. So that is indeed that. So the car it's coming along very nicely, so we can see what we have in progress now. And, well, there we go, top of the pops. The car itself, everything is relatively fresh. Of course, we took penalties in Monaco after my disastrous qualifying, so that's all fresh. The gearbox is 2 of 6. Took a fresh one of those in Monaco as well, so that is excellent. The corporate side of things, everything there remains the same. Driver contracts, yeah, Gasly's focus at 64. I think that is what is hampering him at the moment. I think there was a comment, Chris, I think it was in the comments, that said he's a bit disappointed in Gasly, and more or less I think he's, and there's 10 million now for his base salary, so that's X more money we need. Gasly, come on, man. Yeah, I think it's, and that's of course he's got up to. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm pointing at. That's of course he's was it the acclaim thing has gone up to 17, which is probably why he wants 10 million now. So a little bit more money we're going to need to save. Yeah, I mean he's very well rated, so I don't think, is he the best rated on the grid right now at 97? It looks as though he's going to be, doesn't it? So yeah, I mean if you want the best, you've got to pay for the best, don't you? And is he the best right now? I mean, that's probably debatable, isn't it? But we'll keep the money coming in just in case. We can see there in the standings, my win in France really did kick us up. We are now 6th in the championship. How many points are we off top? 34. So we're a good race weekend for us and a bad race weekend for Verstappen, away from really pulling ourselves back in this title race. The constructors, 97 points. We've really pulled clear of Ferrari. I didn't think I thought we might be able to close them down. But to be that far ahead of them, I think it's fantastic. Season results, we can see them there. Yeah, it's looking good, isn't it? Gasly has been relatively consistent. Monaco was a disappointment, and of course Bahrain, I screwed him over. But other than that, he's been sort of a top 6 driver, which is probably Not too bad, is it? So this race we're about to do is Austria. Now, last year in Austria, we got 7th. Season 1 in Austria, we got 7th. So if you're a betting man, you'd say we'd be looking good for a 7th today. We don't have a new rival. That, I'm sure, will take care of itself once we do indeed get to Austria and I have to speak to the press. 2 poles, 1 win, 2 podiums, 151 points. It should be 3 fastest laps, I think, because I got robbed of my fastest lap in Monaco, wasn't it? No, was it last race? Maybe I did only have 2 fastest laps. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that is that. Let's head back to the overview and sim ahead, and hopefully nothing goes wrong. Podium celebrations taking place. Gasly has his focus. Let's head off to Austria. Okay, so there is the track map of the Spielberg Red Bull Ring. Qualifying and race look like they're going to be dry. I did just notice on the way in here, though, that free practice 1 and 2 could be wet. So there could be limited running in the dry to get out and sort of try and nail a setup for ourselves. But like I say, I think this track should suit our car. But I'll do some free practice and give you some more feedback before qualifying. Alright, free practice is done. Again, all the times are on the Discord. It's linked to that in the description if you're interested. We've got a good car around here, as I suspected. We've been to in the top 6 or 7, both cars. And in FP3, I was doing my qualifying sim, and I was actually top of the session, only by like 9 hundredths over Lando Norris, though. So it is close. We have a new rival. That man is Valtteri Bottas, so that's tough. It was basically we have a Mercedes or a Red Bull driver as the rival. So for something different, I went for Valtteri. But let's go to qualifying. Q1 should be relatively comfortable, but let's see if that's actually how it plays out. Alright, here we go. First attempt at Q1. In hindsight, I should have probably done this on the mediums. We should have more than enough pace to get through on the mediums. The one issue I have had in free practice is damaging the underside of the car on the curves. So I'm just going to have to be a little bit... I don't know exactly where it is I'm doing it, but I will just need to be a little bit careful of that, particularly in the race. I've gone a little bit deep there. That shouldn't be the end of the world if we can still get a decent run. Anything, I'd say a 103, sorry, 6 and quicker should get us through the session quite comfortably. I did a 103.3 when I topped the session, but we should... yeah, 103.6 should be more than comfortable for us off the curve there. So you can see Stroll's done a 103.7 to go fastest right now. And we've done a 103.7. Should be good. Let's go again just to be safe. Already a little bit up.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Purple first sector. Much better that time out of there, having not sent it off into the countryside. The issue we might have here is just patching this car in front. Sonoda, I think. Purple second sector. Hamilton's done a 103.0. That is fairly rapid from Hamilton. Let's see what we've done. Ricciardo's done a 103.0. We've done a 102.8. How about that, Hamilton? So that was more than enough to get us through, topping the session as well. Bottas, we're about half a second up on him. Gasly's got through. And if we have a look who was knocked out, it's the usual suspects. Yeah, just the usual suspects even. So let's go to Q2 now and see if we can top that as well. So, not a great start to Q2. We're going to be sitting here for about 2 minutes. Alright, here we go. Q2. I did toy with the idea of going on the mediums, because tyre wear isn't really a thing around here. That's going to probably damage the underside. And what I was thinking is that I could probably start on the mediums if we could get through, and then when everybody else changes from soft to mediums, we could go the other way, and the soft tyres should be more than good enough to get us to the end. But with that, losing that 2 minutes at the start, I don't want to start stuffing around with things, so we'll just play it safe. yeah, hopefully get through. First time of asking on these tyres. Just a little bit tentative with these two corners here. I feel like we're losing time, but we I don't know. What have we done? A 102, 103.3, that might not be enough, you know. So it's not the fastest that we've gone, and I'm looking at these guys on medium tyres. If we look at Sonoda, we've got 0.6 on him. I mean, the other guys that have got on the softs, we've got a relatively comfortable gap to. So we might risk this. So we did risk it, and it was absolutely fine. We were half a second safe in the end to Sonoda, so we needn't have worried. But that is the top 10. Gasly is through. Bottas, our new rival, is through. Let's go to Q3, and we'll need to do what? A 102.6. If you can get into the 102.6s, you'll probably be on pole. Alright, this is actually our second attempt on these sets of tyres in Q3. I abandoned a lap because I'd stuffed it up on a couple of corners. So if this wasn't going to be a banker lap before, it certainly is now. So, yeah, this will be the chase lap for the new set of tyres. Done the exact same thing I did first lap, would you believe that? I'm going flying off into the countryside there, just getting a little bit greedy on how late I can brake. And that's roughly where I abandoned it last time, as you can see by the delta there flying up. That's better there. Then a purple middle sector. Now, if we can nail the end of the lap, which I can't always do, we'll see where that brings us. That's much, much better. Alright, what have we done? What have we done? What have we done? A 103.2. 7. Alright, here we go. New set of tyres. 4 minutes to go in the session. Hopefully we're not going to catch everybody coming out like we did in France. It's faster. A little bit sketchier across the curves, but it was okay. Now don't fly off to the countryside, dumbass. Much better. Look at that. Look at the time ticking away. All right, we might be in business here. I forgot to see what the gap was to first. Left a little bit on the exit there, didn't I? But we're almost half a second up. Oh, a little wide. Purple middle sector, as we usually do. Lost a little bit of time there, though, haven't we? Can we finish off this lap? Oh, I've gone down 2 gears. That's not ideal. And I don't think it's good enough to 102.9. It's P4 for now. Well, would you look at this? 8 cars within a tenth of a second of each other. This race is going to be crazy. I've outqualified Gasly. I haven't outqualified Bottas, so we've lost the first step of that rivalry. This race, though, that is crazy.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Verstappen, Oldtimer, and Gasly, Hamilton, Leclerc, Sainz, and Yuki Tsunoda. Ocon, Norris, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Fernando Alonso and Russell, Giovinazzi, Joe, Nicholas Latifi, and Robert Schwartzman. Lundgaard, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So Norris's penalty moves the AVR boys up a position each, so P5 is where we will start. I think, You probably want to get onto fresh tyres as soon as possible, don't you? But I just wonder if we... See, the thing is this is what frustrates me a little bit with having Gasly that's so close to us, is that ideally I'd like to be able to play around with this a little bit. I wonder if going the extra lap would benefit us, but of course where it might not benefit us is if we are... Right, you know, like, say, for example, if we're leading... We just want to come in and cover everybody off. But if we're behind, then I wouldn't mind staying out maybe an extra lap. But let's just go with what the team says and hope that it's the right thing. All right, here we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. Both cars in a good position for this one, so let's hope we can bring home some big points. And we've got a... Look at that start Verstappen's got. We've got a... Well, Perez maybe's got a shocker. But Verstappen's got a belter. Let's go to the outside here, try and stay away from any trouble on the inside, and we've done that. Little flash there as I hit pause instead of the button.
Caution, the virtual safety car has just been deployed due to a build-up of debris on the track.
To get onto the battery power there, but virtual safety car, bit of collisions in the mid-pack. And we'll come back now with the virtual safety car.
VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
About to end. Now it's ended at the perfect time for everybody really in that lead group, because we've just been able to just accelerate out of that first corner and not back off. We're just going to be a little bit careful with Pierre behind us that we don't...
There's been
another crash as Stroll goes out. He was right at the back, wasn't he?
Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
As you've heard there from Jeff, no safety car plans, so we will just continue on. And in fourth spot, Gasly up in fifth, and looks like Perez has had to make a stop, has he? He must have been the big loser out of that first corner. Hopefully, because he was in there with Gasly, so hopefully no damage to Gasly's car. But of course we swept around the outside of both of them and we got off scot-free, which is nice. Gasly though looks to be, he's almost as if we're holding him up here.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car
ahead. With DRS, that's not a good thing. Oh, I've hit the curb on the inside, a little bit of a squirrely exit. We luckily get DRS off the back of Verstappen, but we have got Gasly with a much better exit all over the back of us. We go to the inside, try and fade back over, and we've gone deep. We just about keep it in bounds. Gasly just about doesn't hit the back of us, and with DRS again, we should be fine. Hopefully Gasly wasn't checked up enough there to lose a position to who's behind him, Leclerc. If I can just settle down, try and close the gap, it's Bottas, Verstappen, and I think Ricciardo will be the other car. Oh, could we have an Australian one too? There's the other car that's leading the race though. Purple second sector, as we tend to do. And we really have pulled out a gap on Gasly. Now, ideally, we probably want to try and keep Gasly in DRS range of us for as long as possible so that he has that to protect himself from Leclerc behind him. It looks like Hamilton behind him and then Tsunoda. Well, I can just look at the tower, can't I? And it'll tell us exactly who's there. But DRS, we've put in a decent lap there. It may even have been fastest lap, I think, if I remember correctly. Well, let's see now if we can... have a look at the back of Verstappen here. Obviously not this lap, but Ricciardo appears to be holding everybody up, doesn't he? There's definitely a train behind him. We can just come across that gap and then sort of see where that takes us. We might be able to sort of pick them off maybe one by one. And of course undercuts could come into play here as well, but with Gasly, so we've got a little bit wide there, and that might go very wide, very squirrely. That undercuts are going to be difficult because with Gasly so far behind us, what I don't want to do is have another situation like Bahrain where I try and do something for my race and destroy his. So got to try and look at it as a team and not do anything that's too selfish. I do miss Schwartzman for that.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Oh, we've got a caution up here. That appears to be fine.
Green flag.
And we've got a decent exit out of that corner. Now, are we far enough, or too far back, I should say, on Verstappen here? Probably we are. We've got a purple for a second. We jump out. Oh, Verstappen is very, very early on the brakes. And we forced our way up the inside. Now, why we've got a warning for a collision there, I'm not really sure. Let's have another look at this. I mean, we've cleaned up the inside. They haven't moved over on him. I don't understand why I've got a warning for that. But anyway, we're past Verstappen. That's the main thing. Up to P3 in the podium positions. Well, let's see if we can go on with this now, and maybe can Pierre go and get past Verstappen as well. Let's see what we can do through this midsection where we know we're fast. And there's, I mean, Ricciardo is definitely holding everybody up, isn't he? There's a train there. I mean, we know that we saw from qualifying times how close everybody was in the top 8. So maybe it's harsh to say he's holding everybody up, but he's certainly not pulling away, is he? And I do wonder a little bit if the way that I've set the car up is better on is better for the race.
There's an incident in the next part of the
track. We've got a caution there, but you know, it might be someone straight at the end of turn 1 there, I think. Verstappen's behind us, but yeah, I do wonder a little bit. I'm just a little bit concerned about Max.
There's a gap beginning to form.
I think the gap is forming, Jeff, but it's not a very big one. Yeah, I do wonder if the way I set the car up is just naturally helping us in the race more so than qualifying. Because when I sort of first started, we used to qualify much better. We would, you know, do a bit of a banzai first lap, try and make positions up, and then just grimly hang on to as many of them as we could as the race went on. Whereas it seems like the more I've played the game and sort of got used to setting cars up and stuff like that, qualifying hasn't always been my strength, but we do tend to move forward in the race and be racy in the race as well. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's something I could do that would make the car a bit quicker in qualifying, but as long as it's working for us in the race, then it's probably no need to change anything.
Keep pushing, you're gaining on the car ahead.
Let's see what we can do here. Bottas, he's going to have DRS, of course, just click that inside curve again. You can see I've got the damage thing there open. Now here's a chance. We're catching Bottas. He drops to the inside. We've got the purple first sector. We launch. We roll off the brakes. Ricciardo's there. Oh!
Oh no, Danny Rick, what have I done?
What have I done? A warning for the collision with Ricciardo. Let's have another look at it. Oh, we've barely touched him. See the Bottas. I mean, he did go back over. It left us some room. And, I mean, I've made the corner. It's just that Ricciardo's there. I mean, Danny Rick's not going to know what hit him, is he? Yeah. No idea.
A new strategy is available.
And we've damaged the front wing as well. We've got a bad run onto the straight. So Verstappen's passed. Gasly's having a look down our outside. We might just need to kind of let him go. But of course we're not going to do that because I'm annoyed at myself. I don't give up any positions. Let's have a look what the downforce. Yeah, look at that. We've drifted wide, understeered straight off the track. Through go the rest of the lead pack. We're down to 6th. And, well, that's gone south in a hurry, hasn't it? So we are going to stop this lap. We kind of have to with the front wing. You can see again, just understeering off. Technically, I think we should get a penalty for our pit entry there. Oh dear.
I should have bailed out of that, shouldn't I? It's not going to cost us too bad in terms of strategy because, well, we would have been coming in next lap anyway, I think. But obviously it's going to take time to change the front wing. And I didn't like where I was on the track and I should have just bailed. I was too narrow, wasn't I, with Ricciardo right there. Alright, head down, arse up, let's go.
So, yeah, let me know what you think. I mean, I was just too narrow with Ricciardo turning in. And, I mean, if Ricciardo hadn't been there, it was fine. I got up the inside, I made the corner on the exit. We've got Mazepin now in front of us, we're at the back. We launch up the inside of him. A little bit of, yeah, squirrely exit perhaps as the rear tyre is not quite up to temperature, but I'm also quite annoyed at myself at this point, so... Yeah. I just should have bailed. Bottas, it blocked the inside. It was always going to be a narrow move with Ricciardo there, and I didn't like it. You can see I kind of broke early, and then I got sort of sucked back in when Bottas went wide again. And rolled off the brake. But anyway, it's done now. We're P15. We have stopped most of the... Now, Perez has already stopped, hasn't he? He's on the medium tyre. We saw he had damage. Tell you what, how's that for a move from Perez in front there? So he's made his stop, but his tyres are going to be old. He's on mediums already, so they're going to be 8 or so laps old. Got Mick Schumacher in front. Look to the outside. This will be... oh, he's gone across the curve. We've gone across the curve. Everybody's happy. I probably passed him outside of track limits there, but we've got away with it. And was that Ricciardo coming out of the pits in front? It was. So, just as he comes out in front of us, perhaps. I don't know whether we would have damaged his floor. Oh, we've got a much better exit out there than Perez, so we'll take Perez. It's up to P13 now. Guan Yu Zhou, we'll have you. Thank you, sir. Cut up the inside of him. That's P12.
Pierre is in for his stop.
And we'll just keep going here. Now, can we pass Ricciardo cleanly? Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure if we would have damaged Ricciardo's floor or not. I mean, we had sort of yellow damage on the front wing, and so that was enough to make us stop. But you could see from the replays, it was barely contact. Obviously, it was enough. I'm not saying that, you know, it wasn't really a crash that was my fault. It obviously was, but it wasn't heavy contact by any means. So as we get past Robert Schwartzman, how many races is that this season that we've had to pass or been right behind Schwartzman on track after a pit stop? It seems like it's every second race, if not more. Right, we've got Ricciardo here. Are we going to have another lunge? We are. We're coming through, Denny Rick. This time, much more polite. He gets out on the curb. He's scared of me, and with good reason. And that's Ricciardo passed. That's up to P10, and we're absolutely cutting through this field, aren't we? There's a Ferrari up in front of Latifi there. We've got Latifi and Lundgaard, who I'm assuming wouldn't have stopped yet. Well, they mustn't have stopped yet. And then we've got the Ferrari, so that's where we're starting then to be cars that have got past us because we've had to stop early. So who else has stopped there? Norris, has he stopped? Possibly. Interesting angle here. Lundgaard should be coming in the pit, so I want to give him space on the inside to do that. Oh, bit of debris goes... That was not off Ricciardo's car. Just a massive chunk of debris went flying off in the background there. It could only really have been from Ricciardo's car. We've got Latifi now. Can we get up the inside of him? He locks a brake. And we sliced through him as well. And that is us up into P8 now. Carlos Sainz is the next car. We've got, what, 7 or 8 laps to go. He's about 3 seconds in front. Can we chase him down? And that must be everybody now that's going to stop has stopped. But all over the shop there. I was obviously looking at something else. Probably, my phone probably went off and I was seeing white lit up. Really should have my phone out of sight when I'm doing this, I've got to say. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. We should have the pace to chase him down.
In front is 2.8 seconds.
2.8 seconds to Sainz now. So we've taken about 0.4, so we're going to skip ahead though to the final lap.
This is your final lap of the race.
You can see the gap, if anything, has opened up a little bit. I am unsure as to why I couldn't chase them down. I don't know if maybe I gave us a little bit of floor damage at some point, like I was doing in free practice. We were sort of very aggressively cutting through the field, so there's obviously a chance I've hit a curb somewhere, or I don't remember any contact with any cars. Usually you can hear a little something, but I just could not close the gap. You can see Perez is behind us. He's made a second stop. He's gone onto soft tyres and is absolutely flying, but he's 18 seconds behind. He's made 2 stops, so he was never going to catch us. Ricciardo fell away. I can't remember if he had to make a second stop or not now, but I suspect that bit of debris that fell off it had to have been from his car, so whether he had made contact with somebody when he was passing them. But you see, we do have fastest lap, so that should be an extra point as well, so that's good. Bottas wins the race.
Oh, Norris, you bastard! You took my fastest lap point. Oh, and I threw away a race win there as well.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Danny, I'm really sorry, mate. Really sorry. But in my defense, I barely touched you, and I was going to pass you anyway. So if anything, you should be sorry you got in my way. Well, look, you hit me in Portimao, so what do you say we call it even? Well, I stuffed that up, didn't I? Ruined both myself and Ricciardo's race. I guess that makes up for Portimao to a point, but speaking of a point, can't believe Lando Norris nicked it on the last lap at Austria again. And yeah, it's difficult not to be incredibly disappointed with that, isn't it? But if we go and have a quick, Gasly did well second. Look at that, right behind Bottas. And considering Bottas, I was just impatient, wasn't I? I was just impatient, and if I'd sat there, he blocked to the inside. I knew Ricciardo was there. I should have just bailed out of it and got, yeah, next lap. And there was plenty of time. What an idiot. But anyway, we can see there that the championship lead is now 45 points away instead of 30 odd, whatever I said it was at the start. Gasly moves ahead of us, as does Hamilton. The constructor side of things, it was just silly points thrown away, wasn't it? So that's me, and yeah, I mean, at least Gasly did a decent job, I suppose. So there we go, and that's it's kind of hurt a little bit, hasn't it? That we're 2 points back after a race, but that's salvageable. Anyway, if you've enjoyed that, guys, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. The next race is Hungary. We should have that front downforce upgrade on the car for that. That will help things around Hungary, of course. And I mean, last year we got a 4th place there, I think. Now, it was heavily helped by the safety car. But you never know. You never know what could happen. But anyway, so that's it for today. Thumbs up and subscribe. And if we have a quick look at the budget, any second now, there we go, and we have 17 million. So Gasly has 10 million salary, so we can upgrade the base as well, which will be nice. So until next time, I'll see you in Hungary. Take care.